Hi everyone, thought I'd do a quick video on crypto because I know a few people are probably feeling a bit confused with where we're at. Like I said at the beginning of the week, expect a pullback. Okay, on Monday I talked about altcoins have hit their first level of resistance, confluency, which is where you have multiple rivers, multiple signals meeting. I'll be tightening some stops here, especially in the short-term trades. So I hope you all followed along and tighten those stops because we dropped really quick, pretty much within 12 hours after that. What I was looking at was your others, which are your altcoins. They had hit a critical resistance, and as well as the others dominance as well. Okay, so I'll just show you them here. So you can see here, you'd come up, and at the moment we're only moving in threes still, which is a little bit worrying. We're still corrective, and all we've actually done is come up to resistance, zag zone, and old support resistance zone as well. At the moment, this is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're moving in threes, which is not a good sign, but it's not completely bad yet. Really, we need the bulls to step up now. Okay, so you can see here, this is old support here that's becoming resistance. If we start breaking below there, all of a sudden we're not bullish market structure anymore and things are rolling off. So I'm expecting at least a bounce here. I think it'd be crazy to not at least bounce here. But what I want to see is it bounce and get above here. Then we have bullish market structure. So if it bounces and prints a lower high, I then go, well, hang on, we were selling higher, why are we selling lower? And then if we break through there, it's over. And then we're still coming down. Okay, so had a nice bullish run. As you guys know, I went bullish on crypto at the beginning of September. We had a really nice run. I then tightened all my stops here, and now I'm playing defense again until I have clarity of what's going on. You hear a lot of things about this is the point where we go ballistic. You know, October, everything's about to go absolutely phenomenally good. I just want to show you data right now. Again, everything I always do is based on data and why it might not be the case. Okay, so just so you don't get programmed into that it must do this, and just show you why this time is a little bit different and things to keep an eye on. Okay, so I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that just look at the data and make a decision for yourself. At the end of the day, this is the beauty of charts. You can follow the market structure. Okay, so looking at the SP 500 here, crypto has only existed in this here. Okay, and what you can see here is these are your bull runs on crypto, and then it tops. And what you'll notice when it tops, the stock market then corrected and then went into kind of like a sideways action here. This is where we are right now in the cycle, this November period. And this is what you get your crypto bull run, okay, which is you also get your equity bull run. But prior to that bull run, you had sideways movement. Okay, there wasn't a parabolic run. You just pretty much had done nothing. 1100 up to 1400, like a 20% move. Then you got your major bull run. And that's how markets move. They zig, they zag. They zig, then they zag again. And then this is your next bull run. Your bull run top, you correct. This is your bear market in crypto. And this is where we are right now. The October. Sorry, I moved that over a little bit. We are October, which is here. What do you then get? Your Kraken bull run on crypto again. But what have you had prior? Again, you've had sideways consolidation. Zig, zag, zig, zag, zig. This is your market top again, January 18 or December 2017. Then what did we get? We had a corrective move. Okay, so again, the market has corrected for that period of time. Okay, sideways correction, triangle. Then this is where we are now, October, your massive bull run. So what you need to ask yourself now is, going off history, the market zigs and zags, zigzag, 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 zigzag. Okay, have we had a period of consolidation and now we're about to go in a raging bull market? Is that, as you can see, all these, you've just finished the sideways and we're entering the zig. Just finished the sideways, entering the zig. Just finished the sideways, entering the zig. Have we just finished the sideways, or have we had a parabolic run? This is the thing. This is the first time that we haven't had a major sideways correction coming into October. All we've had is a major bull market from this low here. So the data suggests something's different this time. Okay, every other time we've been in a zag zone before this October period now, before the election cycle. This is the first time we haven't had a massive sideways correction. If I show you previous times where we haven't had a massive sideways correction, it was here in 2008 and it was here in October. So 2000, well, October, where are we? 2000 October there. Okay, these were the only two times that we didn't have a sideways correction before. And if you look, what do we have? Parabolic run, election cycle, supposed to go in range and bull market, we fell off a cliff. Here, we were already in a downtrend, didn't have the sideways correction, we kept falling as well. If we now look at history and go, okay, what are we most similar to? Are we most similar to these periods here? Or are we most similar to these periods here? That's what we don't know yet. So I'm going to pull up a couple of charts to try and unpack that data a little bit. This here is the yield curve, okay? It's your 10-year yields over your 2-year, often called a recession indicator. Okay, so if we unpack the dates, all of those other dates, we had 2020 in October, we were here. We had 2016 October, we were here. We had well, you can see any other ones are here. Now let's unpack. So what do we got there? 2016, 2014, 2012, which was up here. Okay. 2008. Here. And then if we look at the 2001, which was here. Okay, so when we were above the yield curve, there was no recession looming, there was nothing to worry about. You can see we were all up here, and that's when we had our major bull market. In 2000, when we fell off the cliff after the election cycle, we were down here with the yield curve inversion started, and then it uninverted and came up. Which one are we most similar with? Have we changed market structure and yield curve inversion similar to 2000, or are we similar to these ones here? Again, it's data. I'm not telling you the answer. I'm just looking at data, unbiased data as to which one's different. So there's now two things that are different. One, we haven't had a zag for the last 2 years before we go bullish. And two, it's the first time where the yield curve was inverted and is uninverting during that period, which we've only got one data set to go off, but that one data set suggests it didn't end well. Well, it didn't end well for the NASDAQ. Bitcoin didn't exist during that period, so we don't actually know. But then we have to look at data. How does Bitcoin correlate with the NASDAQ? Does it follow the NASDAQ or does it not? And if you look at the data, Bitcoin actually correlates to the NASDAQ times 2. So when the NASDAQ drops 30%, Bitcoin drops 60%. Things like that. So the data suggests that if we do have something like that, then Bitcoin will not do well because it is a speculative asset. You've got to think like a billionaire. Billionaires, they want to keep their wealth. And when you've got a volatile asset, it's all about storing that wealth. If you know something can drop multiple percent, you're not going to take that risk. When you're younger and you're trying to grow your portfolio, yes, you take that risk. Okay, but it's at the moment, it's still a speculative asset until it proves us otherwise, which is that when gold and US dollar and things like that start to uninvert, then it actually does the same thing as well. Also, if you know, with Bitcoin has a bit of an inverse relationship with the dollar. And I know everyone's really bearish on the dollar. Right now, all the dollar is doing is flipping this resistance into support. And if you can see right now we've come down in bullish divergence, very oversold. And again, let's look at history. Let's look at other times when it's been extremely oversold and look at how the things go on the weekly. Okay, so coming down here, see we had a bounce, one more drop, then it bottomed. You can see here, it bottomed, then was bullish. Here, it bounced, then had one more move, and then bottomed. Here, it bottomed, then was bullish. Here, bottom, then was bullish. Here, had one bounce, bottom, and then was bullish. So history also suggests that you've got two things. It's either going to bottom and go, or it's going to bottom, bounce, and have one more low before going then. That's just, again, what data is telling us, which is also what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Best case scenario is we have one more move up, okay, up to around those low 80s, and then I would be careful. Worst case is that we don't reach it. Personally, I would send it up to those low 80s because it's easy money. Everyone's programmed into October, halving cycle, things like that. It would make complete sense to do that because it's easy money to grab all that liquidity. And then everyone would be programmed into thinking that the halving cycle would go to the end of next year. Right now, there's still a bit of fear and people are a bit worried. To me, that would really reset sentiments and everyone extremely bullish again, capitulate the bears, and then most people wouldn't expect it to just be a low wave 5. They're expecting a blow off wave 5. What they don't realize is that with Bitcoin, you've already had an extended. You've already had it. Okay, you've already had. So this is your first move. Your first move. You pull back. You pull back. You've had this wave. You've already had it. You've already had the big move, and then the short one. Okay, so again, people are expecting they're expecting this to come. Personally, I don't think it will come. I think best case scenario is if we do break up, it'll be a short move up to around that low 70s, 74K. Best case, kind of those low 80s. That's just what I'm seeing. And again, I'll follow the data, but I'll be looking for reversals at those areas. And if I see a change of market structure there, that's where I'll be careful. Looking at Bitcoin, you can see that we're still coming down in our channel here. Okay, but at the moment they are still selling lower, and lower at the moment here as well. What we want to see it do is come up and bounce up through here. If you can do that, that's where then you'll get that move up I've been talking about. And then that will really capitulate the bears, get everyone long, get everyone on one side, reset sentiment. If you unpack the monthly, you can see we are still holding it. Okay, which is why you've still got to give benefit of the doubt to the bulls. Okay, here. So we are still holding it. However, every time it bounces, it's getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Okay, so soon we need this thing to bounce up and go. Okay, so I don't like that it is holding here, but I don't like that it is getting lower every time. It's not a bad thing, but we do want to see it break up soon. Okay, and once we see that first monthly candle engulf the last one, that's where then you're getting that. If not, if we get a candle close below here, then this was distribution. You're probably thinking, oh, but how's that distribution got? Because you've got to break it down and look at what's happened. Okay, charts tell you a story, and you can actually unpack the whole story if you know the narrative behind it all. So that was the ETF launch right there. It was a sell the news event. Then it bought and came up. So if they've pushed it all the way up and they've spent all this time from March to like pretty much the whole year selling off, and if you start coming back down again, then you know that was a sell the news event. You know that all that was manipulated price action to bring it up, get everyone extremely bullish, and then distribute to them. Because it should not come back below the ETF, because that's when everyone flipped bullish, the ETF. The inflows, man, millions of dollars, Same thing here. This was the FTX collapse. When that happened, when the chart came back up and got above it, that's the market telling you that it's discounted that whole thing. That means that the market doesn't care about that news, because you got to think about that should have been the most horrific news to send it to zero. So why did the chart come back up to where the FTX collapse began? Same thing. This should have been the most bullish news to send it to $1 million. So why is the chart coming back down to the price of where the ETF launched? then it becomes a sell the news event. That's why I keep saying if we break 48K, we get bearish real quick. Okay, so while we're above 48K, we can give benefit of the doubt to the bulls. But again, I'm only looking for a short upside. I'm not looking for some 500K like some people are. But it must stay above that zone, because then it's just the inverse of that, and that is distribution. Okay, so again, follow the data, guys. It's really easy, but I just wanted to show you why things are a little bit different. Okay, it's not your typical cycle. They're printed to oblivion. Their yield curve, recession looming. Things are, no one likes to see that this time's different, but it's different in the fact of the macro cycle, and that's what a lot of people don't get. Like if you put Bitcoin against all asset classes, it's not performing against anyone. Like look at silver here, higher high, higher low, and look at the volume coming from silver compared to Bitcoin. It's just not showing strength yet. It might come in, but right now it's not, which is why I'm still very cautious. And if that breaks above there, you've got to wonder, well, why is silver outperforming Bitcoin? Okay, if you look at gold as well, gold is still outperforming Bitcoin here as well. If we break below here, different story. Okay, but at the moment, we're still higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher, well, equal high, or higher high actually, because the candle closed, higher low. And then we need to see, does it roll over and change market structure, or does it keep going? So we're still kind of in that be careful zone as well. Because if you look at gold, again, gold looks like it's ready for a pullback. Like look at gold and how overextended it is up around this 2700, and we're coming up to extremely overbought bearish divergence possibly coming in here. Okay, so it's had a massive move. It's had its 5 moves up. So from here, first move, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in its 5th wave. So it'll have a wave 4 pullback soon. And then if gold is still outperforming Bitcoin and it's pulling back, you got to wonder what's going on there. Also, that's showing gold's pulling back inverse to the dollar. The dollar's inverse relationship to Bitcoin. It's just still a lot of things to just be careful of. Okay, so a lot of things to look out for. In particular, with the altcoins, what I'm looking for is Bitcoin dominance is still not tackled over yet. Like it's still bullish. I was looking for that. It broke that resistance and then it needed to reject and come down. It hasn't. So it's still bullish market structure. That's not alt season yet. So we need this to roll over and do it. If it does that, you beauty, then we've got it. Others dominance. I want to see buyers step in here. They have to step in here. This resistance must become support off the zag zone and go. If it falls through, we're in trouble. Okay, so if we get bounce off here and continue, you beauty, everything's all good. I'm remaining bullish while we're above here, but if we fall below, I'll quickly flip. Ethereum Bitcoin is still underperforming. So until it gets above here, there's nothing to be excited about. It might come in now because you bullish divergence, you might get it now if it does roll up, but we haven't got it yet. Okay, so the trend is still down. Why is Ethereum showing weakness against? Okay, it's the queen of alts. It should be coming up. I should say king of alts. The thing that I've been saying with the alts is, we don't know if we're here right now. And you can literally see the exact pattern. Okay, we come on down. See, you've got your moves coming down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your leading diagonal coming down. And then you have an A, B, C. Okay, literally the same thing we've just had. 1, 2, 3 move up, back up to the, and then it rolls over. This is what we've got to be afraid of that we've got right now. So you've got your leading diagonal. Oh. Coming down, and then you've got your A, B, C back up, and then it rolls down. Okay, that's what we've got to be careful of, is that are we in this stage right here? We've just had the ABC, and then we're going to move into the big drop down, okay? And that means that then you get your A, B, C, which is what I've always thought it is, but I need the data to tell me. That will only be confirmed if the other's dominance breaks its major support here. Okay, so if we start breaking the major support, again, that is altcoins from existence. So that's the ABC, and then we roll down, and then we capitulate because we're breaking the trend. A, B, C, or further down, we don't know yet. Okay, but that's why you've got to play defense as well. While we're above, we're good. But if we do roll over and break below there, be careful, because it will be that really quick move like this. Okay. All right, guys. Hope that helps. I didn't want to scare anyone. I just wanted to show you data and just what I'm prepared for. We're moving really soon. Okay. Like I said a few weeks back, the consolidation's over. We're going to start trending. What direction, we don't know yet. Is it up or down? You've got to be prepared for both. I'll be prepared for both. And yeah, ready to jump on whatever comes, because either way, it will be a phenomenal move in either direction, to the upside or the downside. Just be ready to jump on it. All right, guys, hope that helps, and I will catch you on the next one.